Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source of all things Everton. We're back, Tom and Max. How you doing, Max?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, we'll come to bring you this starting 11 for Leicester away. It's not. It's all. It's all. Is it Leicester? No, Leicester at home, isn't it? Sorry. It all seems
Yeah,
to be going not great at the moment for Everton. After we just lost to Brighton, so we're going to tell you how we've changed the team to try and improve on that absolute shit show, to be honest, and see how to fix that and where to go from there. So we'll start with you, Max. What do you think the starting 11 will be?
I think a common misconception with these videos is, and I think Jerry kind of like pushes the agenda that what would Marco do? I've never really looked at these as what would Marco do. I've always kind of thought, what would I do myself? And I think my 11's indicative of that. I don't think Marco will go with what I'm going for. I'm going back to a four at the back. I've got Jordan Pickford in goal, Seamus Coleman at right back. I've gone for Keane and Zuma at centre back, Luca Dean at left back, a three-man midfield, Idrissa Gueye next to Andre Gomez, just in front of them in his more natural position, Gylfi Sigurdsson, left wing, Bernard, centre forward, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and right wing, you may not agree with it, but I'm sticking with Theo Walcott. What have you got?
That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, definitely. Would you keep Walcott on the team? Yeah.
I would. As I said, I don't think his performance. I mean, I know we got slated earlier on in the season because obviously when you've got the likes of Richarlison, who's now on what 9 goals,
Yeah.
Bernard dazzled when he first came into the side. I don't know. It made Walcott look. I think mediocre is too much of a harsh term, but in comparison to last season, where we've got the likes of Morgan Schneiderlin and Wayne Rooney in the side. Pace-wise, Walcott just looked like a man on fire last season, whereas this season, I think, a lot more depends on your technical ability. That hasn't been at the standard that it should be. In terms of Walcott, I think he's wasted a lot of good quality chances so far this season. However, the Burnley game, I know he didn't get on the score sheet, but I thought he had a really good game. And even against Brighton, I noticed the front three were quite narrow, and branching out and making runs into the wide positions with Walcott and Bernard. And obviously, the Brighton result went the way it did. Brighton are good at the Amex at home, but up against this Leicester side, what's the Leicester over? I think it's a 4-2-3-1. You look at the game we played them at the King Power. I just think we've got to go with the same kind of system. I think whether we go from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3, just something to kind of match Leicester man for man, as we know, in Didi and Mendy, two athletic centre midfielders. That's why I think Gylfi Idrissa Gueye's got to be in there purely for the sake of his athleticism. But I go back to the formation and the lineup that brought us more success. Really, what have you gone for?
Yeah, that's interesting. I've stuck with the wing backs, the five at the back situation. Because I think if we stick at it, it might work eventually. If we can, I know. We could possibly change the formation in terms of what side we're playing. We shouldn't always be too static. We should maybe do a bit of like consideration of the opposition as well into the formation. But I've stuck with five at the back. I've gone with Pickford in goal again. Zumi and Akina. Zuma, me and Akina. I get this wrong every time. Zuma, Mina, and Keane. There we go.
There you
At the
go.
back, three centre backs together. I know Mina had a poor second half, but I think if he regains his composure for this one, he should be all right. Coleman and Dean. I'm not too fussed on Coleman at the moment, but he's better than John Joe Kenny. I've gone with Gay alone in defensive midfield because I think he's I don't think Gomez is. I think he needs a rest. To be honest, he looked a bit leggy in the last one. He looked a bit lethargic, and I think the festive period may well be catching up with him. So I've gone with Gay on his own in defence midfield because I think he can do it on his own. He's got the legs for it. So five at the back with Gay in front, and then I've gone with the three. similarly to you up front, I've got three behind the one forward, and I've dropped Walcott. This would be me because I don't think it's what, as you say, it's not what Marco would do. It's what we would do, I think. So I've gone with Bernard on the right wing instead to change it up a little bit because I know he can play in both positions, the left and the right. So I'd like to see Bernard on the right, and then I'd like to see Richarlison back on the left. So Bernard on the right, Richarlison on the left, Sigurdsson down the middle because he's ready after his little rest, and then Calvert-Lewin up top. I don't know. That's the team I'd like to see anyway because I do think I don't know. He's not done too badly for him to be dropped, but I just frustrates me so much. I'll just drop him. But yeah, obviously he scored a couple of matches ago as well, so he's not in bad form. But like, I just like to see how that worked because I do think that's a nice little front line. It's got some good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too against, if Walcott was to be dropped. No, I wouldn't be against putting Bernard on the right, Richarlison on the left, and Calvert-Lewin for the middle. I wouldn't be against that at all. I don't know. I know Bernard was wasteful with a few chances yesterday, but again, I think he was getting into the areas. He was putting good balls into the box, and if you've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin through the middle, he's gonna find his head onto the end of one or two of the crosses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think Bernard's done enough to warrant to be dropped.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at that Burnley game, look at the impact that Richarlison had coming off the bench. Don't think he did particularly well against Brighton. I think his touch was off. I think he had an off day, to be honest. I don't think that's that sums him up as a player at all. Because I think he's a terrific young talent, and he's shown that plenty of times so far this season. I just think the amount of games is catching up to him. And just to touch on the central midfield issue that you mentioned, I think it's crucial that we have Gylfi Sigurdsson in that number 10 role again. I mean, you said you highlighted it straight away in one of the other videos that in terms of creativity and finding the balls in between the back lines, we're just not the same without Sigurdsson.
Yeah.
As we saw. I mean, I know at the time Leicester had a man sent off in the reverse fixture. But regardless, when you've got someone with the ability who can pick up the ball, back to goal, Cruyff turn, take a touch out his feet and plant it into the top corner. If he's done it in this fixture so far this season, I don't know. I just think I think it might bode well for him again, coming up against Leicester again. I do agree with what you said about Andre Gomez. I do think he's looked quite leggy. I don't know. Who would you roll with instead of Gomez in that central midfield?
Just get on his own. I think he's all right on his own. Just to give him the freedom. I know it's a bit like he's a bit exposed in the middle because you got to win that midfield battle, and I suppose he is a little bit. But if we're gonna go far at the back, you don't need two defensive midfielders. I don't think so. I would leave him to it on his own.
Who's your three in midfield then? So you got Gay, Sigurdsson. Who's the other one?
I've just got Gay and Sigurdsson, and then the wingers. So you've got the wing backs. Possibly cutting inside, and then you've got
I know, because I think with the five back benefits the wing backs a lot more because they're getting the ball in more advanced positions, and I think Digne in particular, because there is a focus on that left hand side. He's excellent at playing that wing back position. But while that benefits the wing backs coming up against Maddison, pace of Jamie Vardy, I'm not fancying a back three. I've got my reservations that they might be beat for speed. I know Zuma's pretty quick, Keane's improved. Mina didn't have the best of games against Brighton, but still a very physical and capable player.
Yeah.
I just feel like the four is more suited to deal with what Leicester pose. So, with that being said, and I know December was absolutely dismal, but are we seeing a result from this one?
I can say a draw, to be honest. If I was going to go for a prediction, I'd probably say 1-1. I'm not optimistic about Everton at the moment after yesterday, so I'd go for 1-1, to be honest. What about you?
Now you've said that, I'm probably inclined to say the same. I'd like to think that, obviously ends in 2018 on a bad note, capping off December, which was really poor. I'd like to think there's some sort of added motivation, particularly with Leicester being one of those who were considered to be battling for 7th place. Where I'd like, I'm saying a 1-0 win, narrow, hard game, but after dropping as many points as we did in December, we've got to make games count when they come. At home, Goodison, mate, I think we've got to turn up.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully make Goodison back to a fortress again after we conceded 6 goals there last time. So that's let us know your predictions as well, what you think how the game's going to go, and also your starting lineup predictions, whether you agree with us or any changes you make from what we had said. And make sure you like the video as well and subscribe to the Toffee Blues. Thanks a lot for watching as well. I've been Tom, that's been Max, and join us next time on the Toffee Blues.